Hi everyone. Okay, so we're just going to get really comfy. We're going to take it really easily. We're going to take it really gently. Just slowly ease ourselves in to the meditation. There's no rush. There's no pressure. As always, we want to just become aware of any expectations that we might have for this meditation. And that could be expectations for systems that we expect to be in, or systems that we hope will run during this time. And we just let go of any of these expectations where they're not necessary. We're here to just meet whatever comes up. And whatever comes up is okay. We always just let it be and we allow it. And so with that, we can just slowly start to close our eyes if and when we feel ready to do so. And we can just take some breaths together so that we can connect our mind with our body. And we just take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Nice, slow, gentle breath in. And release when you feel happy to do so. Another deep breath in. And a deep breath out. We aren't going to overcomplicate anything here. As always, we don't have much responsibility. We don't have any big jobs. The mind does all of the big jobs. It does the cleaning. It does everything. All we have to do is to just know. And if we have an object, then we just stay with this object. And we just know this object for as long as we can. The mind will wander off, and that's the reality. And so there's no point in getting mad at that. We just let that be. And we just stay with our object. And that's as easy as the meditation needs to be. We're just sitting, relaxing, giving ourselves space and time to just be with ourselves. And we're just with our object. We can think of this time as though somebody saw us cleaning around frantically, and then they just said, you know what, you can just sit and take a break. I'll do everything for you. Just sit down and relax and just be. And that's how we can think of this time. And everything else that's happening around us in our internal worlds, when our eyes are closed, we just let that be. Staying with our object prevents us from going off with thoughts or listening to voices and doing whatever they command. Our object is our safety zone, it's our anchor, it's like our protection. And what we're protecting is the mind. We want to look after the mind because it looks after us by cleaning all of the pollution out that we have when we give it the opportunity to. And that's what we can see this time as an opportunity to clean out pollution. When we use this time to have the intention or the goal of cleaning out pollution, it gives us a focus. Every time that the mind wanders off, the goal comes back into place. And we say, no, now's not the time for the mind to wander off. You're going to come back because we'd like to clean out pollution. Are you knowing your object right now? If you weren't knowing it before, that's fine. In this present moment, we just want to know what our object is. If we've been busy all day and then suddenly we stop and sit in stillness, sometimes the thoughts or the voices see it as a really good opportunity to present to you their ideas, their notions. So if it feels like thoughts are popping up more regularly when we meditate, it's just that now is a good opportunity for them to present their ideas and their notions. And it's up to us to not accept them. It doesn't always feel like it, but we always have a choice. Do you accept or do not accept? And sometimes we accept the thoughts and we're with them before we've even realized. But as soon as that awareness kicks in, then we can leave that thought. If it's hard to stay with our object, then we can just know that it's hard. And that's also a form of awareness. So we're doing the job perfectly. We spoke earlier about going with the good and bringing up positive energy, even when things are irritating us, or they're frustrating, or anger is arising through the bad. During this meditation, we'll just try and bring up positive energy. Sometimes frustration can come up when it's difficult or we can't stay with our object, and that's what the bad wants. And so, through these examples, we learned that going with the bad and giving it what it wants only leads to more bad. And so, we can do like Tom, and if we're knowing frustration or anger, we can switch it to compassion. And sometimes we'll have to give that compassion to ourselves when things are getting tough. No matter what's happening during this time, you always have your safe place, which is your object to come back to. Every so often, we might need to switch objects, and that's fine as long as we have an object. Sometimes we can stay with one object for longer, other times we need to switch more often. If feelings are rising, like tiredness or boredom or anything else, or if thoughts are arising, they have zero meaning unless we give them meaning, and we can think of feelings as just simply sensations that we happen to be noticing. And this can help us create distance between what we're experiencing. Every second of being aware of being with our object is a second of pollution getting cleared out. And we like to remind ourselves of this goal, of this intention every so often. Even if it's only 1% of pollution that gets cleaned out, it's still 1%. And if the next time we clean out 1% or 2%, then slowly, bit by bit, it will get cleaned out. Every bit of pollution less is something less that the bad can use against us. we can think of ourselves as being a hero for our own mind. Every second that we go inward and we clean out pollution, we're protecting the mind from harm, from anything toxic. Our mind needs us to be that hero because it can't clean up the pollution by itself. It needs us to bring up that good energy, and it needs us to have that awareness. If we saw someone in danger, I'm sure many of us wouldn't hesitate to run towards that person and protect them and save them. And that's like what we're doing with our mind right now. We're protecting it, giving it a safe space with our object, and letting it clean out pollution so it can't harm the mind, and it can't harm us. The only thing we ever have to do to be a hero to your mind is to just know and be with our object. Doesn't matter if the object is the breath, if it's the body, or a mantra, a visual, or a sound, as long as it's something that we can come back to continuously and stay with as long as possible. in this very moment, are we allowing the mind to clear out pushing by knowing our object? If not, no worries. We just come back to our object. If it's too difficult to be with our objects, and if the intention or goal of clearing out pushing is providing too much pressure, that's okay. Just remind yourself that your only job here is to be aware and keep your awareness for as long as possible and bring it back as soon as the awareness slips away. as we come towards the end of this meditation session, we can take a little bit of a breather and just release any tension or pressure that's been built up for this past while. And we just let that be and let that go. And then when we feel ready, we can ask the mind to bring up a state of gratitude. And we can take a moment to thank ourselves for joining this evening's class and or meditation. We just want to thank ourselves for being here and for giving ourselves credit, because it's not always easy to show up. Perhaps there's things that can put us off from going, or we have other commitments or things that we'd like to do. And so it's great to thank ourselves for showing up and being here. And while we have this state of gratitude, we can think of 3 qualities within ourselves that we appreciate that we have. It could be friendliness, kindness, compassion, love. 3 things. And then when we feel happy to move on from the state of gratitude, we can ask the mind to bring up the state of loving kindness. And with this loving kindness, we'll begin with ourselves. Whether the bad tries to make you believe that you're not deserving of it or not worthy, that's not true. We are worthy and deserving of receiving this love and kindness for ourselves. If someone was to pass on love and kindness to us, we would not reject it and we would not resist it. If a loved one or someone we cared about were to give us love and kindness, we would be very appreciative. And so we do the same for ourselves. And we appreciate the state of love and kindness that we have. And we can move to the top of our head. And with this state of love and kindness, we can think of our body like an empty tank. And slowly we're pouring in this state of love and kindness until it goes from our toes, up our legs, our thighs, till it moves past our stomach, our chest area, moves up our fingers and arms, moves up the back, in front of the body, the back of the body, moving up to the neck, to the top of the head, until we are filled with this love and kindness. And from there, we can slowly move on to our family. We just bring up everyone from our family and we send each member this state of love and kindness, where we're just wishing the very best for them, like we wish the very best for ourselves. And when we feel we have passed this on to each of our family, we can then send this love and kindness to our friends, our loved ones, to those that we care about. And then when we feel like we have done this, we can send the state of love and kindness to the four walls that we're in. And we can know that every time we leave this room that we're in and we come back to it, there's love and kindness there waiting to embrace us every time we enter the room again. And then from this room, we can expand this love and kindness to the entire building that we're in. And from this building, we can expand this love and kindness to neighbouring buildings, to those beside those buildings, and we just keep expanding this love and kindness until every building, every place, every being, every tree, every flower in our country has been encompassed by this love and kindness. And then we keep just expanding this love and kindness to neighbouring countries beside ours, and then those neighbouring countries until we've reached the continent, and then we expand this love and kindness over to each continent. And then from these continents, we just keep expanding this love and kindness until we feel like the whole earth, the whole planet has been expanded with the state of love and kindness. We just wishing everyone on earth peace, happiness, love, and joy, and to be free from suffering and pain. And then we expand this love and kindness beyond our planet to every other neighbouring planet until we feel like we have expanded love and kindness to every planet that's out there. And then we expand this love and kindness to every star that's out there. And we expand this love and kindness to every galaxy that's out there. And we just keep expanding this love and kindness until we feel like everywhere has been expanded and touched by this love and kindness. And then we just stay in this state of love and kindness for another moment. And just notice this state of love and kindness. And then we can gently, slowly take just a few breaths so that we can come back to our body. And when we feel ready, we can very slowly and gently begin to open up our eyes.